Long ago, in a remote village in Mexico, the wisdom of the Toltecs flourished. The Toltecs were a group of people known for their spiritual teachings and deep understanding of life. Their wisdom was passed down through generations and eventually shared with the world by a man named Don Miguel Ruiz. In his book, The Four Agreements, Don Miguel offers a guide to living a happy and peaceful life. These agreements are simple yet powerful rules that can transform how we see ourselves and interact with the world. The first step to understanding the four agreements is recognizing the domestication of the human mind. From the moment we are born, we are taught rules, beliefs, and ideas by our families, schools, and society. These teachings shape how we see the world and ourselves. While some of these lessons are helpful, others create fear, guilt, and self-doubt. Don Miguel calls this process the dream of the planet. It's like living in a shared dream where everyone agrees on rules and beliefs that may not always serve us. The four agreements offer a way to break free from this dream and create our own life, filled with happiness and freedom. The first agreement is be impeccable with your word. This means using your words with care and honesty. Words have great power. They can build trust, spread kindness, and inspire hope. But they can also hurt, create fear, and destroy relationships. Being impeccable means avoiding gossip, lies, and harmful speech. Instead, we use our words to express truth and love. For example, imagine a child who loves to sing. One day, someone says, "Your voice isn't very good." That one comment can make the child stop singing forever. Words like these can plant seeds of doubt and insecurity. On the other hand, kind and encouraging words can help someone bloom. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. This agreement reminds us that other people's words and actions are not about us. They're about them. When someone is rude or unkind, it often reflects their own fears and struggles, not our worth. For instance, if someone criticizes your work, it's easy to feel hurt or defensive. But what if their comment comes from their own frustration or jealousy? By not taking it personally, we protect our peace and self-esteem. Building on the first two agreements, the third agreement is don't make assumptions. It's about avoiding misunderstandings and unnecessary stress by seeking clarity instead of jumping to conclusions. Our minds often fill in gaps with assumptions when we don't know the full story. For example, imagine your friend doesn't reply to your text. You might assume they're upset with you, but the reality could be that they're busy or their phone battery died. When we assume, we risk creating problems that don't exist. Don Miguel Ruiz suggests a simple solution. Ask questions and communicate clearly. If something is unclear, seek answers. If you're unsure how someone feels, ask them. This approach prevents unnecessary conflict and strengthens relationships. The fourth and final agreement is always do your best. This agreement ties all the others together. It's about giving your best effort in every situation, no matter how big or small the task. But doing your best doesn't mean being perfect. It means showing up with the best effort you can manage at that moment. For example, some days your best might mean completing a big project with energy and focus. On other days, when you're tired or unwell, Your best might mean simply getting out of bed and taking small steps. The key is to accept that your best will vary depending on your circumstances, and that's okay. When you always do your best, you avoid regrets. You know you've put in the effort, and that's enough. This agreement also helps with the first three. By doing your best, you're more likely to use kind and honest words. First agreement. You'll better handle challenges without taking things personally. Second agreement. You'll communicate openly and avoid harmful assumptions. Third agreement. The beauty of the four agreements is how they work together. Imagine trying to build a house. The first agreement is like laying a strong foundation with bricks of truth. The second agreement protects your house with walls that block out negativity. The third agreement adds windows for clarity and understanding. And the fourth agreement ensures the house is well maintained, strong, and livable. These agreements guide us to live with integrity, understanding, and freedom. They aren't about perfection but progress. Each day offers opportunities to practice them, and with time they become natural habits. To truly understand the power of the four agreements, let's look at how they work in real life. These principles are not abstract ideas. They're practical tools that can improve relationships, reduce stress, and guide you to live with purpose and authenticity. Take the first agreement. Be impeccable with your word. Consider how it can transform relationships. Imagine a manager who always speaks with honesty and encouragement. Instead of criticizing an employee for a mistake, they say, "I noticed an error in this report. Let's fix it together and ensure it doesn't happen again." This approach builds trust, fosters learning, and strengthens the team. Contrast this with a manager who shouts, blames, or gossips about employees. Such negativity spreads tension and fear, harming relationships. By being impeccable with their word, the first manager sets a positive tone and creates an environment where everyone feels respected. Now, let's look at the second agreement. Don't take anything personally. Imagine you're a customer service representative, and a customer yells at you about a late delivery. It's easy to feel upset, thinking the customer's anger is directed at you personally. But when you remember this agreement, you realize their frustration is about the situation, not about you. Instead of reacting emotionally, you stay calm and find a solution. The customer feels heard, the issue is resolved, and you've avoided unnecessary stress. This principle doesn't just apply at work. It's powerful in personal relationships, too. When you don't take things personally, you free yourself from the burden of others' opinions and focus on your own growth. The third agreement, don't make assumptions, can prevent misunderstandings that lead to conflict. For example, imagine you're planning a surprise birthday party for a friend. You assume another friend will bring the cake, but you don't confirm it. On the day of the party, there's no cake, and everyone feels awkward. If you had clarified the plan, the problem could have been avoided. Communication is the key to following this agreement. By asking questions and ensuring everyone is on the same page, you create smoother interactions and stronger connections. Finally, the fourth agreement, always do your best, encourages personal growth. Imagine someone learning a new skill like playing the piano. If they focus on doing their best, they'll practice consistently and enjoy the process, even if they make mistakes. However, if they expect perfection, they'll likely feel frustrated and give up. This agreement reminds us that effort matters more than results. It encourages patience, persistence, and self-compassion, helping us grow without harsh self-judgment. The four agreements also work beautifully together. For instance, a teacher following these principles can create an inspiring classroom environment. By being impeccable with their word, they encourage students with positive feedback. By not taking misbehavior personally, they respond with understanding instead of anger. By avoiding assumptions, they listen to students' concerns and provide clear instructions. And by always doing their best, they model effort and dedication, inspiring their students to do the same. These agreements can also transform how we approach challenges. Imagine you're facing a difficult situation, like resolving a conflict with a friend. By being impeccable with your word, you speak honestly and kindly. By not taking things personally, you stay calm and avoid escalating the conflict. By not making assumptions, you ask questions to understand their perspective. And by doing your best, you focus on finding a solution, even if it's not perfect. When you live by the four agreements, you unlock a sense of freedom, peace, and authenticity that transforms your life. These principles don't demand perfection, they're about progress. Every step you take to honor these agreements brings you closer to a happier, more fulfilling existence. Let's start with the emotional freedom that comes from be impeccable with your word. When you commit to speaking honestly and positively, you let go of guilt, regret, and the stress of dishonesty. Imagine the relief of not worrying about past lies catching up with you. Your relationships become more open and trustworthy, and people respect you for your integrity. This agreement also helps you silence your inner critic. When you choose kind words, even in self-talk, you build self-esteem and resilience. Instead of saying, "I'll never get this right," you say, "I'm learning and improving." This shift boosts your confidence and motivation, enabling you to face challenges with a positive mindset. Now consider the inner peace that comes from don't take anything personally. By understanding that others' actions are about them, not you, you free yourself from unnecessary pain. Imagine no longer feeling hurt by rude comments or rejection. Instead of reacting emotionally, you focus on your values and goals. This principle also fosters compassion. When someone lashes out, you see their pain instead of taking offense. You respond with empathy, which can defuse tension and strengthen your connections. This mindset not only protects your emotional well-being, but also makes you a source of calm and understanding in your relationships. The agreement "don't make assumptions" brings clarity and harmony to your life. By asking questions and communicating clearly, you avoid misunderstandings that lead to conflict. This creates smoother interactions and deeper trust in your relationships. For example, instead of assuming a friend is upset with you because they didn't reply to your message, you ask if everything is okay. Maybe they were just busy, and your clarification prevents unnecessary worry. This agreement encourages openness and honesty, strengthening your bonds with others. Finally, always do your best, helps you embrace growth and self-compassion. When you focus on effort instead of perfection, you free yourself from the fear of failure. You learn to celebrate progress, no matter how small, and to view mistakes as opportunities to improve. This agreement also protects you from burnout. By recognizing that your best effort varies depending on circumstances, you give yourself permission to rest when needed. For instance, if you're tired, doing your best might mean taking a break instead of pushing through. This balance supports both your success and your well-being. Together, the 4 agreements create a foundation for a happy life. They guide you to live with integrity, resilience, clarity, and purpose. They teach you to focus on what you can control, your words, your actions, and your perspective, and to let go of what you cannot, like others' opinions or external outcomes. Living by these principles also inspires those around you. When you speak kindly, others feel valued and uplifted. When you stay calm and compassionate, you set an example of emotional strength. When you communicate clearly, you encourage openness in others. And when you give your best effort, you motivate those around you to do the same. Over time, these small changes create a ripple effect, improving not only your life but also your relationships and community. The 4 agreements are not just rules, they're a way of being that brings out the best in yourself and others. As you practice these agreements, remember that it's a journey, not a destination. You won't always get it right, and that's okay. What matters is your commitment to growth and your willingness to try. Every time you choose to honor these principles, you take a step toward the life you want. And that's the ultimate promise of the 4 agreements. A life of authenticity, connection, and joy. You have the power to create this life one choice at a time.